Shalom, family. It's good to see you all here. I'm sure you probably heard that Jonathan Majors was found guilty for assaulting his ex girlfriend. So, she did get all up on the stand crying and boo hooing. So, I mean, it's to be expected. It goes back to what I said before. When you're in an interracial relationship, and you're going through a divorce or you broke up and it goes to court, the courts are always going to be with them over you. I'm just saying, and I've said this before, but some of our people just don't learn. They don't learn. I have seen this multiple times. He's black, she's white, they got to go to court, they broke up, they're getting a divorce, and I'm just telling you, 9 times out of 10, they're gonna be on her side. The system was designed for them, right or wrong. Mm-mm-mm. So, yeah, so this didn't turn out, and right after he was found guilty, Disney and Marvel fired him, and that's all online too. That's buzzing all around online as well. Which, they kinda kicked them to the curb as soon as the news came out back in March. So that part is really not shocking. They're doing what I would expect them to do. So he could be looking at 1 year behind bars, up to 1 year behind bars, depending on what direction they want to go in. So, ladies and gentlemen, well, when you looked at, some of the still shots that came out towards the end, that woman looks like a hardcore alcohol. She looked like an alcoholic to me. She looks like she ties some alcohol on big time. So let's get into it. I mean, the situation is not going to change for him at all. So John Majors made an appearance in court today, and the trial went on for a few days. And from what I understand, it was a jury of 6. So, anyway, actor Johnathan Majors found guilty of assaulting his former girlfriend in a car in New York. So, one thing, she took the stand, and I guess his lawyer advised him he did not take the stand. He did not take the stand, y'all. So, Jonathan Majors was convicted Monday of assaulting his former girlfriend after a 2-week trial that the actor hoped would salvage his damaged reputation and restore his status as an emerging Hollywood star. So, this jury in Manhattan found Majors, 34, guilty of assault and harassment. He was also acquitted of a different assault charge and of aggravated harassment. Majors, who he was asked to stand and face the jurors during the verdict as it was read. He showed no immediate reaction, looking slightly downward. So his sentencing, so we don't know what he's going to get. I just heard it could be up to a year behind bars. Now, they said his official sentencing will be on February 6, 2024. So that's damn near the beginning of the year. The charges stem from a dispute between the Creed 3 actor and his girlfriend, Grace Jabari, that began in the back seat of a chauffeured vehicle that spilled into the streets of Manhattan one night last March. If you remember, there was a text message that came up, and that's where she lost it in the car. Now, I find that very interesting because the driver of the car said that she was really the aggressor, but I guess they threw all of that out and disregarded what the driver said. So, Grace Jabari, 30, a British dancer, accused Majors of an attack inside of the vehicle that left her in excruciating pain. She said that he struck her in the head with his open hand and twisted her finger behind her back and squeezed her middle finger until it fractured. Major's lawyer said that she was the aggressor, alleging that she flew into a jealous rage after reading a text message on his phone by another woman. They said Jabari had spread a fantasy to take down the actor, who was only trying to regain his phone and get away safely. Well, from him running down the street, it looked like he definitely was trying to get away from her. The verdict dealt a major blow. Yeah, I'm sure it did. You know, first of all, the original arrest is what was damaging to his career, but now that he's been found guilty, and I think the career is done. So, once slated as a lead in Marvel Universe as a supervillain, Kang the Conqueror. Now, I heard they're recasting this role and also renaming the supervillain. So who knows what it's going to be called now that Jonathan Majors will be replaced. So it just talks about his schooling. He went to Yale School of Drama. And, since all of this whole thing happened, we know he lost parts, he lost endorsements. It has done a lot of damage to his, well, what was once a career. So he arrived in the courtroom this morning carrying a gold leaf Bible, offering hugs to his family members and current girlfriend, Megan Good, who was there with them, before taking a seat, expressionless for most of the testimony. You know, wow. But Major sought vindication from the jury. The trial also brought forth new evidence about his double relationship with Jabari, whom he met on the set of Ant-Man, accusing Majors of cruel and manipulative pattern of abuse. Prosecutors shared text messages that showed the actor begging Jabari not to seek hospital treatment for an earlier head injury. One message warned it could lead to an investigation even if you do lie and they suspect something. They also played audio of Majors declaring himself a great man, and that's when he was telling her to be more like Michelle Obama or Coretta Scott King, more supportive. Over 4 days of tearful testimony, Jabari said Majors was excessively controlling and prone to fits of explosive rage that left her afraid and physically quite, she was afraid a lot. That's all she was saying. Um, she broke down on the witness stand and see there you go right there. There you go. That's how she won over the jury. She broke down on the witness stand as the jury watched security footage from the aftermath of the backseat confrontation, which prosecutors said showed Majors manhandling her and shoving her back in the car as if she was a doll. Majors did not take the stand, but Chandri, that's his lawyer, said her client was the victim of white lies, big lies, and Pretty Little Lies invented by Jabari to exact revenge on an unfaithful partner. So her, Major's attorney saying she did all of this to get back at him for having another woman. And we know he's with Megan Good. So, and you really think about it, he split with Grace back in March. And then he hooked up with Megan probably like weeks after that. So, anyway, the attorney cited security footage taken immediately after the shove that showed Majors sprinting away from his girlfriend as she chased him through the night. Jabari then followed a group of strangers that she met on the street to a nightclub where she ordered drinks for the group and did not appear to be favoring her injured hand. Now, she bought drinks with his credit card. That's what she was doing at the bar. She wasn't using her money, she was using his money to buy drinks for herself and these strangers that she met. She was She was at the party charging, and they said this was expensive champagne to the man she was angry with, treating the strangers to fancy champagne that she bought with Johnathan Major's credit card. This is according to Chandri, Major's attorney. The next morning, after finding Jabari unconscious in the closet of their Manhattan penthouse, Majors called the police. He was arrested at the scene while Jabari was transported to a hospital to receive treatment for the injuries to her ear and hand. He called 911 out of concern for her. in his fear of what happens when a black man in America came true. Well, I wish you would have thought like that when you were, before you start dating her. But I guess hindsight is 2020. Chandri accused the police and prosecutors of failing to take seriously Major's allegation that he was bloodied and scratched during the dispute. And he was, because I showed the pictures on another video. In her closing arguments, prosecutor Kelly Galloway said Majors was following a well worn playbook used by abusers to reverse the narrative by casting their victims as attackers. This is not a vengeance plot to ruin the defendant's life or career, Galloway said. You were asked why you were here because domestic violence is serious. So that's what the prosecutor said. And he was found guilty, y'all. He was found guilty. And it makes me see how, even with a witness statement from the driver, it didn't seem to matter. It did not help him one bit, apparently. But let it be a lesson learned. Apparently, he must have learned his lesson. He's with Megan Good now. And we'll see what kind of sentence. I will definitely keep following this. In February, I'm going to have to mark down February 6th to see what kind of sentence he will get. It can be anything at this point. Mhm. Yeah, well, yeah, he put too much trust and he let this woman move in with him and everything, and look at how it turned out. Look at how it turned out. And if you go statistic wise, it tells you the white woman, black man relationship have a high divorce rate. It does. It has a very high divorce rate. I just think that the two worlds just ultimately will collide. No matter how much you try to avoid race as a topic, I think eventually it just collides. Mhm. Mhm. Yeah, I mean, it's rare to see. It's not common. So, y'all, I mean, I don't know what's gonna happen to him, but I'm sure this is weighing heavy on him. I know this is probably not the outcome he was looking for. Mm-mm-mm. You know? Yeah. Well, I mean, he's not completely ruined, but he's ruined in the sense of being an actor, you know? Yes, in that sense, but I mean, eventually he can find other work. It just won't be acting. Not unless there's somebody out there by chance that will give him another chance, and that's a long shot right there. That's a long shot. I don't know. We shall see. It's not the same for a black man when he's charged in a white man. A lot of people bring up Ezra Miller. He's a white dude at the end of the day, so he can make 101 mistakes and still get acting gigs. That's how it is. This is America, and this is how America is ran. Well, So, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and conclude. I see some people made a donation. Dark Skin Brother, thank you for the super sticker and thank you for the super chat. Keep up the amazing work, Lisa, my warrior sister. Thank you so much. Thank you. I do appreciate all the donations that you give. So, everybody, I'm going to go ahead and conclude and stay tuned for my videos that are coming out tomorrow. And I hope you all have a blessed night. Shalom, family.